um, to prosecute po no yung si Duterte at saka iba pang mga perpetrator ng EJK.
Opo, malinaw naman po that it covers crimes against humanity. Na yung EJKs, yung the magnitude, the extent of the EJKs na nakita natin, na lumalabas na ngayon, at yung mga testimony ng mga families and other sources din. Now, it's certainly a case of a crime against humanity, specifically of murder, kasi systematic and deliberate targeting of a civilian population. And we are talking about the alleged drug offenders.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Ito na nga, Franz Castro at Senator Laila de Lima nagsanib puwersa. Pero bago ang lahat, maaari kayong mag-subscribe para maging updated sa mga issue at bagong mga balita. Nagkaisa na nga ang Makabayan Block Teachers Act Party List Representative Franz Castro at former Senator Laila de Lima na kapwa kumukontra sa pamilya Duterte para pabagsakin ito sa pamamagitan ng pagpapasok ng ICC sa Pilipinas para sa pag-imbestiga sa nakaraang administrasyon. Narito ang buong detalye.
Congresswoman Franz Castro, you have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Maiksi lang naman to kasi yung ibang question at natatanong na. Tanong ko lang sa PNP, Mr. Chair. May binanggit kasi si former Senator de Lima about yung mga personalities like SPO4, Samson Buenaventura, alam naman natin kung nasaan si Arturo Las Cañas, Bienvenido Laud, and SPO3 Jim Tan. So, sa PNP po, active po ba ito kung nag-retire na, Mr. Chair? Sa PNP.
Earlier, Congressman Paduano moved for the issuance of a show cause order to Is Sunny Buenaventura and Samson Buenaventura one and the same?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Okay, so there was already a motion to issue a show cause order.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair.
May I know what's the name of that gentleman over there? What?
Sir, good afternoon. Brigadier General Chinayog, the Acting Director of Personnel and Records Management ng PNP po, sir. As to the question of the good Congresswoman, we will find out sa aming record, sir, kung existing ang tao. And we will give the feedback. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Congresswoman Castro, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So meron tayong according to Secretary Senator de Lima, yung RA 9851 on the legal basis kung pwedeng natin makasuhan. So pwede na po ba itong magamit ng ating mga pamilya na biktima ng EJK to prosecute po no yung si Duterte at saka iba pang mga perpetrator ng EJK?
Opo, malinaw naman po that it covers crimes against humanity. Na yung EJKs, yung the magnitude, the extent of the EJKs na nakita natin, na lumalabas na ngayon, at yung mga testimony ng mga families and other sources din. Now, it's certainly a case of a crime against humanity, specifically of murder, kasi systematic and deliberate targeting of a civilian population. And we are talking about the alleged drug offenders.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Gusto nating malinaw yun, ma-emphasize yun dahil medyo matagal pa yung ICC, no? At itong ating mga pamilya ay pamilya ng mga biktima ng EJK ay matagal na, Mr. Chair, no, naghahanap ng accountability and justice. Kaya pwede yun. About yung pattern in criminality, di ba sinasabi ng ICC na parang wala pa silang nakikita. So yung example po ng pattern sa Davao, yung DDS, as regards to the national, hindi ba meron na yung pattern? Kasi sa instruction, according to the testimony of Garma, sinasabi na ipapattern yung national scale na tokhang or yung yung war on drugs on the Davao So, di ba meron na siyang pattern, Mr. Chair?
Opo,
Can we-
pagkikita natin na nandiyan ang pattern. Pero
Okay.
pwede pang dagdagan yan, pwede pang makakuha pa ng mga indications, mga factors na pwede talaga nating sabihin na may pattern of criminality. Yung tungkol naman po sa ICC, ang sinabi ko po is that one of the reasons or one of the main reasons kung bakit they authorized the resumption of investigation after junking the appeal of the Philippine government is that hindi pa nga nila, wala silang nakikita na any proceedings in our country, especially criminal proceedings, they're trying to establish the pattern. Pero hindi ho natin alam, baka yung ICC, dahil alam ko po, seryoso talaga sila, nakafocus talaga sila, ay baka na-establish na yan, the pattern of criminality and yung pattern ng killings.
Okay.
And
Mr. Chair, kung magsasampa ang pamilya o biktima ng EJK dito ito using the 9851, so would this affect po yung investigation sa ICC?
it would depend on kung ano makita ng ICC na magiging progress of the case. Na baka hanggang filing of complaint lang. But as to really the gathering of the necessary evidence, baka kulangin. Or baka hindi na maging talagang, hindi katulad nung ginagawang, alam ko, talagang masigasig sila. And these are expert investigators. And na kumakalap na talaga, baka nga malapit na silang matapos sa kanilang investigation. We certainly hope na matatapos na yung ICC investigation, at least in so far as to try to trigger the next step, which is the issuance of the warrant of arrest.
Thank you. At tingin nyo, Senator Lima, nakakatulong itong ginagawa ng Quadcom?
Yes.
Okay.
Sa tingin
Yun lang
ko
po, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman Castro. The next to interpolate is Congressman Bong Teves. You have 10 minutes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Former Senator Laila de Lima earlier said, address to Colonel Espinido, magsabi ka ng totoo. May I ask to the Colonel Espinido, ano ba ang ibig sabihin ni former Senator Laila de Lima na magsabi ka ng totoo?
Your Honors, Mr. Chair, halata naman no na na-dismiss yung kaso niya na parang sinabi niya talaga na inosente siya. Sa akin naman nung mag-umpisa, sa Senate pa lang, sinabihan ko na the truth will set her free. Because I believe na ganun lang talaga ang nangyari kay ma'am. When in fact, I talked personally kay Mayor Espinosa at the time na nagdala na siya ng testimony niya from Camp Crame na mag-turnover sa akin na ang masabi lang niya, nagkita lang doon sila sa Baguio. So, sa akin as Chief of Police at dati investigator, hindi man kadali ganon na mag-file tayo ng complaint sa isang dala lang ang pangalan. Kaya, I doubt at first na talagang hindi totoo yun. Pero as Chief of Police na mag-file lang ng complaint, endorsement doon sa department, sa institution na yun ang talagang papuntahan, hanggang doon na ako. No? But as I've said, na I doubt, kaya nagsabi ako sa kanya na the truth will set her free. And when in fact, kinamayan ko si ma'am right after sa Senate, kung natandaan ni ma'am, pinuntahan ko siya na naghingi ako ng sorry. Sorry talaga ma'am, but the truth will set you free. Doon lang sa akin, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Can I say something, Your Honor? I may.
Congressman Teves. Former Senator Laila de Lima, ma'am, yun po ba ang gusto mong ipaalam o gusto mong mangyari na sabihin? Ano ba talaga po ang gusto mong sabihin kay Colonel Espinido na magsabi siya ng totoo?
Senator?
Okay. Nasagot na ho niya ng konti, partially, yung gusto ko sanang marinig sa kanya. Na sinasabi niya na the truth shall set you free. Yes, nasabi niya po sa akin yan. So ang ibig pong sabihin noon ay yung mga sinabi nila noon during the Senate inquiry ay hindi totoo. Ayaw lang niyang aminin. Ang gusto ko po sana na marinig sa kanya, yung sinabi ni Mr. Kerwin Espinosa during the last hearing na kinausap silang tatlo ni then PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa, now Senator, na ayusin yung mga testimonya nyo para nagkakatugma-tugma. Although I think Colonel Espinido will remember na kahit nga ganun na yung kanilang naging guidance or instruction from then PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa, hindi pa rin naging tugma yung kanilang mga sinabi during the Senate inquiry. Kasi in the first place, yung kilala ba ni Mr. Espinido, si Ronnie Dayan, kilala ba ni Kerwin Espinosa, si Ronnie Dayan, sinasabi na, sabi ni Kerwin Espinosa, na-meet daw niya si Mr. Ronnie Dayan through Colonel Espinido. Pero alam niya po yan, alam niya ni Colonel Espinido na hindi po totoo yan. Yung sinasabi about yung nagkita sa Burnham Park, yung pinakita po nilang supposed evidence of my alleged involvement in the illegal drug trade of Mr. Kerwin Espinosa ay yung picture na yan na pinapakita na mukha ngang nasa Burnham Park. Ang mukha ngang nagkita kami doon o na whatever, yung hindi ko alam kasi hindi ko naman siya kilala nung minute ko siya o na-meet ko sa Burnham Park kasi ang dami pong nagpapapicture doon. So the first time that I saw Mr. Kerwin Espinosa was nung nag-appear na siya sa Senate inquiry. Yun po sana yung gusto kong malinawan sa kanya. Tama ba yun? Sinabi ni Kerwin Espinosa na actually kinausap silang tatlo para maging tugma-tugma yung kanilang script.
Mr. Chair, may I ask Colonel Espinido to respond sa sinabi ni former Senator De Lima. Kasi unang-una, sa nakikita ko po na pag-uusap ngayon, parang lumalabas, isa po sa mga players, si Colonel Espinido sa pagkakakulong ni Senator De Lima. Dahil yung mga, as a Chief of Police, tama po kayo, nagbe-base po kayo sa mga testimonya. Pero, ibig sabihin, alam nyo, yung testimonya ng mga binibase nyo is may kunting mali na hindi tama. Dahil, bakit kayo kakausapin ni Senator De La Rosa, the former Chief PNP, na hindi tugma-tugma ang inyong mga testimonya kung hindi kayo bumubuo ng isang kwento?
Thank you, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. Ang una, sinabihan ako ni General Bato na involved ng drugs, tumatanggap kay Kerwin before the Senate. Nung sa Senate na, hindi na ako nirecognize ni Kerwin na nakatanggap ng 20,000. Even in his affidavit, dalawa, wala ako o hindi ako nakasali. And tatlong senator natandaan ko na nag-cross sa kanya na nagsasabi nga siya na si Sir Espinido, hiningian ko ng bank account but ang reply, Bible verse lang. Okay na yon. Pero nadali din ako sa pagdala ni Kerwin ng pangalan ko na ako daw ang dahilan na makilala niya si Dayan. At the time, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, nagvoluntary ako pagbigay sa Senate ng cellphone ko. Na ma-check lang na may number si Dayan sa cellphone ko. Resign ako kaagad. Wala na, nag-wave na ako kaagad, walang abogado, sinabi ko. Kasi hindi yun makapagtanggi tayo or makapagsinungaling kung nandyan talaga ang cellphone ni Dayan sa cellphone ko. Kung kilala kami ni Dayan, talagang may number ako sa kanya. Doon na nagsalita ang Senate na nagsasabi tayo ng totoo. Kasi bakit matakot tayo, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, na totoo man ang sinabi ko na never din na si Senator Bato, si dati Chief PNP Bato, na magsabi sa akin na okay, yon ang ginawa niyo tatlo, gawin niyo tatlo para magkakaisa yung testimony. Hindi kasi hindi ako sang-ayon lahat kung ano ang isabi sa akin ng senior officer ko as long na legal yan, okay sa akin. Makikita naman, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, na ako sinali nga. And I am one also a victim sa sali-sali lang sa lista ng drugs. Nilagyan pa ng high value target si Espinido. So, kaya ako magsasabi din na siguro yung mga lista hindi totoo yun kasi ako nga biktima sa mga sinungaling nilagay ni Senator Bato. Thank you, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, hindi kaya nilagay yung pangalan mo dahil hindi ka na sumusunod sa gusto nila sa bandang huli?
That's one of the reason, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Ilan po ba ang napatay nyo nung panahon sa war on drugs?
Sa war on drugs sa Albuera, ni isang namatay sa Albuera. Sa Ozamis, sa 2 taon ko may siyam. Sa 2 taon. Sa Bacolod, never ni isa na namatay sa war against illegal drugs. Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Ilan ang nakuha mong reward?
Kung reward lang, matandaan ko, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, kasi may resolution ang Ozamis, si Mayor Aldong Paruhinog at the time, na kung may makahuli ang pulis ng isang malaking drug pusher, may 100,000 na ibigay from the local government unit. So nakakuha kami ng 600,000. Nakatanggap together with the presence of the MILG, na nandoon na ako ang tumanggap ng pera at saka plaque of appreciation na nakahuli tayo ng worth of 600,000 ang binigay ng local government unit sa PNP ng Ozamis, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, di ba pinag-uusapan natin yung reward system na sinabi ni Colonel Garma? Di ba sabi niyo may napatay kayong mga sa war on drugs? Ang tanong ko ngayon, ilan yung galing sa nasyonal na pera ang natanggap mo para sa war on drugs? Hindi yung galing sa lokal.
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, siguro sa Ozamis to tell you the truth, no? Maski tanungin niyo si Sir Bato ngayon kung saan siya. Never nakabigay si Senator Bato na sa akin ng ₱1 since sa pag-upo niya nakasama kami. Never. Lalo na yung reward, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, kaya siyempre, sikreto na yon. Bakit hindi ako pagbigyan? Hindi ako binigyan niya ng legal na suporta naman lang. Na pagbigyan ako na, Joby, may pampliti mo na lang ng pang-airplane. Magpunta ako ng Krame, Your Honor, Mr. That's the truth. Yun na nangyari.
Thank you very
Your
much,
time is
Mr.
up,
Chair.
Congressman Teves. Your time is up.
Thank you.
Please wrap up. Okay, thank you, Congressman Teves. So the last interpolator before we shift to another resource person for today is Congresswoman Arlene Brosas. You have 10 minutes.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Very, very short lang, Mr. Chair. I have 2 questions, Mr. Chair. The first one is for Senator Laila De Lima. Yung RA 9851 po, may prosecution na ba dito niyan?
Mr. Chair, Your Honors, as far as I know, there's none yet.
Yan. Kaya nyo po minimension yung RA 9851 ay sa pagkakaalam ko because of the Section 17, tama?
Yes, one of those, yes.
Oo. In the interest of justice, the relevant Philippine authorities may dispense with the investigation or prosecution of a crime punishable under this act if another court or international tribunal is already conducting the investigation or undertaking the prosecution of such crime. Instead, the authorities may surrender or extradite suspected or accused persons in the Philippines to the appropriate international court, if any, or to another state pursuant to the applicable extradition laws and treaties. So yun po, parang dahil doon, maaari ito ang maging legal basis para yung akusado ay pwede talagang ma-extradite. And we'll go through the process of the ICC.
Yes, although as you said, maaari, because the law, the provision speaks of may. So it's not something that is mandatory. So it all depends on the relevant Philippine authorities kung gusto nilang gawin yun.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, yung second question ko po ay kay Attorney Maria Cristina Conti. Attorney, Mr. Chair, yung gusto nating malaman, bakit yung mga biktima, they would want na sa ICC magsampa ng kaso. Bakit, 'di ba? Bakit kasi walang domestic case eh. So bakit 'yon ang pinili ng mga biktima?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. The timing of the filing of the complaint or the communications before the ICC is also one point to consider. We filed it in 2018 at the height of the Duterte administration and at the height of the killings. First, one of the reasons is that there's presidential immunity for domestic suits. Second, there is complicity of politicians and people in power. There were high officials were complicit in the crimes as suspected. And in fact, they even had officials in the IAS installed. Attorney Triambulo, whom I have identified as one of those appointed by Duterte, so that he could shield officials or police officers from liability. Also, there was security considerations for the victims who may themselves be the subjects of Tokhang operations. Politically, it was not conducive to file any criminal charges in the Philippines regarding the war on drugs at that time, because there was also a refusal of the government to consider this as a systematic attack on the people. Until today, actually, the investigation center on individual crimes, and that the working theory, I guess, for the Philippine government is that these are rogue police officers who just violated protocol. And so for us, in the interest of justice, as was mentioned, the ICC at that time was an effective remedy. This was also in the context of the killings of lawyers and judges who in any way was involved in any drug-related cases. Also logistically, and this is different from, well, this is logistically different from investigations in the Philippines. At the ICC, you file communications, and for the ICC at one point they said they received 53 communications. They tend to look at all these communications all together before starting with an investigation and eventually trial. In the Philippines, you would have to have built a case, and if there were many victims, they would have filed separate charges in different places, and it would be a nightmare to consider them all. So before the International Criminal Court, the Philippine situation is under review, and there is no case yet, but it is under one investigation for all acts of widespread and systematic killings, in the acts of murder and other inhumane acts, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think nakuha ko po yung gusto kong marinig doon kasi parang hindi talaga level playing field dito sa Pilipinas. And second, hindi pwedeng imbestigahan nila yung mga perpetrators, yung sarili nila. So, Mr. Chair, that's it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you,
Chair.
Congresswoman
Mr. Chair.
Rosas.
Chair.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Chair,
before we
very
go
quick.
to the other